Good day, everyone. This presentation maps out important information regarding financial wellness as a student within the postgraduate health system management program at Fanshawe College. Managing your finance while addressing value for money is vital to your success. But did you know that attendance affects your learning outcomes and getting most out of your degree experience? My name is Dr. Sylvie MacLean, and I'm a professor within the postgraduate health system management program, and I do applied research in the community. I come wearing different hats. I worked in the provincial government and Ontario hospital institutions in diverse roles as outlined here. My education experience also is varied as well. And then I've also worked on the board of directors and community council committees as treasurer in financial literacy and strategic planning. Today's presentation is to really help you with regards to linking up the value for money. Just a little disclaimer on this information. This was prepared for you, but I'm actually doing research on this area. In the current health system management program, I actually interviewed 2 students specifically and provided a survey to over 72 students to actually answer a couple of key component questions that I'm going to go over with you. The core question that I want to go through is why attendance is important as it relates to value for money in your education experience here at Fanshawe College. I'm hoping to generate awareness and motivation for you to attend classes within the postgraduate program here and to impart knowledge and improve your preparation of the job skills you require in the real world. You should know, and you probably already do, that as an international student, Citizenship and Immigration Canada mandates that you have enough money to prove you can meet your financial needs while studying in Canada before you start. Hence, it's important to sort your finance to get the best value out of your education. So what do I mean by that, value for money? Well, you get actually to be at the college, but you pay a lot to get here. And before you get here, you have invested a plane ticket. And for someone who's coming from the Philippines, this is about $3,010. For someone who's actually arriving from India, that's $2,785. Again, these are just one-way tickets. And then the lawyer's fee on top of that ranges about $2,000 and could increase depending on your situation. Then the IRCC medical and biometrics fee ranges around $350, could actually increase as well. There are preparation for mailing documents. This includes your police clearance at approximately $375. And don't forget you're in Canada, so there's winter clothing and supplies that are required, an additional $500, and then pocket money for the first 3 months for contingencies. That is ranging about $1,500. So if you were coming from the Philippines, that's about $7,735, and if you're coming from India, that ranges about $7,600. So now you're here, and the tuition varies across different programs at Fanshawe College, but within the postgraduate program, the international tuition is identified here. The domestic tuition is lower, but again, you have to keep in mind that the majority of individuals, since they were born, have been paying into the tax system. There are additional books and supplies, and because this is a program within the School of IT, there is a laptop and incidental fee of approximately $800. So that brings a whopping actual estimate for an international student at $17,863.44, while the domestic student is $6,091.71. When you get to Fanshawe, expenses will vary and depend on the lifestyle of the student. And these are just estimated monthly fees that I put together based on the feedback I received from students. You'll see that the essential costs are the big thing items, such as your room and board or rent, your transportation, insurance, some of the essential personal items as well. So it can range from $1,175 to approximately $2,000. Again, no one's going to actually rate you of having money or not having money. It doesn't define who you are, but it's important that you budget accordingly. Now comes the moment of truth. You compare what you actually had to pay before you got here, you add your tuition costs, and then your accommodations that are taking place on an annual basis. So a total amount on the low side is just a little under $40,000, and on the high side, almost $50,000. Now, being aware of all these financial costs, I asked the following question. Thinking about the past week, how would you rate the amount of stress in your life related to your financial situation? I had 72 postgraduate health system management students reply. Despite the confidence and financial situation, the majority of the postgraduate health system management students felt a lot of stress about their financial situation. Balancing this stress along with financial security is essential for academic success, yet students choose not to attend class, but this is, as you know, at a cost. So why does attendance matter? Well, from a value perspective, we put a lot of financial investment into this before, during, and currently in the program. So we want you to get the most out of your education. From an integration perspective, you are being provided with the opportunity to have that relationship with your instructor and with peers to get the right skills and vocational learning objectives so that you're aligning with the health information management roles in the industry. We want you to increase your opportunities to land a permanent job with the permanent residency. And we also want you to contribute to the population health outcomes with the right skills and the right training. Now think about your financial goals, but also think about your learning outcomes and the bigger goal of your education. From a time value perspective, it matters that you attend class because every time you miss a class, it costs you. Remember, your tuition and incidental costs are just below $18,000, but you pay to study in Canada, and that totals approximately $40,000 to $50,000 depending on your actual living expenses. Now, if you take in consideration your 48 hours of instructional intense training, which includes SILEX administration, every hour you miss costs you. So think about this anytime you miss a class for a $15 minimum wage job that you're receiving per hour. I often wonder why actually students don't see the actual expenses associated with missing classes. You paid a lot of money for your tuition and to come to Canada, and I've identified the tuition, and then you'll see the annual total at the low side at approximately $40,000 with all the expenses included. And if you are a high spender, you'll be on the higher side, closer to the $49,632. But if you think about the term that you're here and the hours are spent in the classroom and you break it down with regards to the spending amount, from an expenditure to match your actual income, every time you're missing a class in level 1, think about every class being $60.76. And if you take in consideration the annual expenses, that actually brings it up to $135.14. So think about that when you are actually thinking of taking a job and the amount of money with regards to the variance. It makes a real big difference. What's also very important is that we're trying to align the skills and the vocational learning outcomes that are required as a health information manager. So in participation of proficiencies, your motivation to attend class and to address the key competencies related to communication, leadership, professionalism and ethics, knowledge and research, critical thinking, writing, project management, operational business skills are one in which we require your engagement and your practical applications. At the same time, we recognize you're an adult and that it's your choice not to attend class, and we don't grade attendance. However, you should know that research has proven that there's a direct correlation to absence for a class and a lower grade, often resulting even in a failure. Therefore, why would you take the risk of a downward spiral of achievement? All of us within the postgraduate program know that it's your success that is important for us. We want to ensure that you are engaged in your education by interacting with us as instructors and other students. And there's so many different benefits. Not missing important material and thinking about it more clearly gets you more engaged and developing the better relationship not only with the instructor, but also in preparation for the assessments. It helps you prepare for increased learning since there is little class interaction sometimes in between the hours that you're not being instructed, and more actively engaging in learning and developing that network with other students forms a relationship not only with the instructor but with your peers. Now, there are lecture recordings and there's similar methods that can supplement lectures, but in person and having live synchronous sessions cannot replace all the benefits of attending class in person. A video recording doesn't even offer the opportunity for questions to participate and even pay close attention when you're watching those videos. It's still a passive experience if you're watching the videos afterwards. The synchronous sessions are there in likelihood that you have a question, and sometimes technology is not always operable and the recordings are not available. So again, you're likely to learn much less if your attendance is not there. In conclusion, being at college is not solely about studying and addressing the value for money. Socializing is an important component, and it gives you, the student, the chance to meet new and different people and the space to do that, and encourages that social connection with your instructor and with your peers. What's really important is not attending class disadvantages you and limits that social and cultural capital experience. You can see that not attending is at a risk, and it's a dangerous attitude and a dangerous choice. Attending far outweighs the benefits associated with regards to coming to class. You're developing the skills, you're developing the vocational learning objectives, and then it gives you the opportunities to integrate more clearly. And seriously, it gives you the value for money from a cost-benefit analysis. Going to class represents your responsibility of a student for learning key skills. So this way that when you get out in the real world, become a health information manager, you're able to be confident with regards to your learning outcomes and your essential educational skills. Not going to class will affect your grade, and potentially it will affect the outcomes of your passing. And again, that results in poor outcomes in terms of financial implications. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed today's presentation regarding financial wellness as a student within the postgraduate health system management program and how it would benefit for you to attend classes in terms of your learning outcomes and essential educational skills, as well as value for money. We want you to produce the best results for yourself, but we also want great things from you in terms of contributions to our community.